Thank you, Brecht. So my part will be to try to understand what are the digital certificates that are used for the QR code. To go over there, I will start to demystify, as Brecht mentioned, the Matter commissioning process, try to explain what it is, what is needed, and what happens during the commissioning. And to do that, we will go through some acronyms that will be defined here: DCL, PA, PI, DAC, and CD. That's some acronyms that you hear a lot. And I will try to explain what they are and how they are working together. Then we'll have a quick overview on the Matter journey, which kind of certificate do you need one, and how to get them. We'll have an overview of the pricing models, and I will conclude my part with how Kudelski IoT can help you in the whole journey. So first, the Matter commissioning process, it's really when the user brings its device at home, he scans the QR codes that is on the device or in the box. And at this stage, the device needs to prove its authenticity and conformity to the commissioner so that he can join the network and the Matter ecosystem. And then he can communicate and the user can order his coffee using Alexa, for example. So the question is how the device is proving the authenticity and conformity. So let's go through the authenticity part. Each device needs to have a unique device attestation certificate. So this is a unique part proving the identity of the device. So to have that, you need to have a product attestation authority, which is a root CA or an authority, a certificate authority that is attested by CSA. So for example, at Kudelski IoT, we have been attested by CSA. We are a product attestation authority, and our certificate is in the DCL, proving that it's authentic. And from that, we can issue some product attestation intermediate, which is at the vendor level, saying that you have your vendor ID and your product ID in the product attestation authority. You may have one product attestation intermediate for each of your product family, or you can have one for all. Yes, it depends to you. So you can have one to many PI, and this PI will issue the DAC for your devices. And then the device will get the DAC to prove its authenticity. And next, the device will need to prove its conformity, and that's where we have the That's where we have the certificate declaration. So you need to prove that your device is working as it's defined in the Matter spec. And to do that, you will give your device to a third-party lab like Alien that will do the testing and reporting to CSA. CSA will take the report and deliver you the certification declaration, meaning that your device is conform with the Matter specification. So once you have done all of that, your device can now be commissioned. So it means that in each device, you will have the certification declaration coming from the labs, the third-party labs to the CSA to your device. You will need to find DAC service like Kudelski IoT keystream service to provide the DAC and the private keys or get the private keys from your device and the public part of the PI certificate. And the commissioner will get the public part of the PAA certificate that is authenticated in the DCL. So the certification declaration has the product ID and the vendor ID. The DAC also has the product ID and the vendor ID. They need to match between the two. And the DAC needs to be issued by the PAI. That needs to be issued by the PAA that is authenticated in the DCL. So there is a link between all of these elements in your device. And it's what is needed to allow your device to be onboarded on a Matter ecosystem. And while building your Matter devices, so what we've seen, the commissioning is really at the end when the end user purchases your device. But before that, you will need to prototype or develop products, and then you need to have some generic test DAC to make sure that everything is working, to validate that you want to be part of Matter and that it's working fine in your test environment. And next, you will go to certification. At this stage, you still use a test certificate with VID and PID that are yours usually. And then when you manufacture and deploy your device, then you need the production DAC. So you need to make sure that the DAC provider, the DAC service that you are using can provide all of that to simplify your Matter journey. And one other important thing to do while you are building a new product is to think about product security. So you may want to do some threat assessment at the beginning to make sure you understand the threats scope of your solution. What are the threats to your business model and the risk, and what is the impact if someone is able to use this threat. To then, based on that, you can define the security architecture, and after that, you can validate the security with penetration testing and device security discovery, meaning that some friendly hackers will take your device and try to break it and make sure that the security is enough. So Matter is an important part for security and interoperability, but you should also think about other services to make sure that your solution is secure to be able to be deployed. So next, the question is, what are the ways to get this certificate? Because you need a unique DAC per device. So there is two main categories for that. Either you have use a service that is pre-generating everything and you send that to your device, meaning that the device attestation certificate and the private keys are generated by the DAC service. And then the DAC service will send that to your device or to your factory, and it will be provisioned in the device itself. The second option is when you have already a private key or key pair in your device. You may have a secure element in your device that has a key pair and you want to use it. Then you may use the online signing feature. That means that your DAC service can receive a signing request from your device and send you the device attestation certificate. In this second option, the private key stays all the time in the device, while in the first option, the private key generated by the service and sent to your device. So it really depends on what is available on your device. So once you've decided to go with either pre-generated or online signing, you have still different options. For example, for the pre-generation, you can have a batch delivery of DAC and private key. So you may want to say, I will produce 10,000 devices in the next month, so I will order already in advance the batch of certificates. The service will send through a secure way to a secure folder, or SFTP or S3 or any other secure folder, where your factory can get the batch, decrypt it, and inject it at production. So the use case for that is, for example, you have new device at factory, and you know how to inject, or you may need help, but you have the ability to inject the certificate and the private key at manufacturing. The second use case is, for example, you have devices that are already deployed in the field. You have already sold that to customer, and you want to enable Matter with a firmware update. So you do the firmware update that is updating the device to be Matter compliant. And at this stage, device can connect to a REST API, either directly to the DAC service or through your own backend to get its pre-generated certificate. So either we deliver a batch of the certificate, or we can also deliver one by one directly to your device. So this is the first option. If we go to the online signing requests, again, you have the same example of use case. Either you have a device already deployed in the field, or even a new device in the field that has the ability to do a certificate signing request to a DAC service with the key already in the device. Or you can do the same at the factory. If your factory is connected on the factory line, the device can connect to the DAC service and get its certificate at this time. So when you are looking for a DAC supplier, you need to make sure that the option that you need is available. So you will not use all of the options I presented earlier in the last two slides. You will need to decide which option you need and make sure that the DAC supplier has this option for you. But there is other things you need to look for. So the supplier should have a intuitive ordering portal. So you will need to order DACs to your supplier. So make sure that it's easy and intuitive to use. You also want to make sure that the service has availability, SLA, and how long your PI is stored in the service, making sure that when you need a new set of DAC or a new DAC, your supplier is ready to order to deliver that as soon as possible. You may need also to have technical support or professional services, either for the provisioning parts or to do the integration with your device, the API integration. So there is technical support that may be needed. So make sure that you can have that. That there is the option, as I mentioned earlier, that match your needs. And last part, that they have a device security expertise. As we've seen, Matter is a good first step in device security, but there is way more to do. So make sure that you have the right partner that can also help you on this part. Regarding the pricing, so you have usually a setup fee. You may also see some option with a yearly fee. And then usually what we see in the market, you have tier-based price. So the more the order, the lower the price of the DAC. So the last part for me in this webinar, just to explain how Kudelski IoT can help you for Matter, but also beyond that. So for Matter, as I mentioned, we have our Keystream DAC services, which is based on our PKI, public key infrastructure. And you can sign a contract with us, and we will provide you an account on our online service. You will have a user interface. It's also available through API. And then you can order your Matter certificates, and we'll deliver them to your factory or to your device, depending on the option you've chosen before. The advantage of doing that is that you rely on a third party to do the PKI infrastructure, meaning that there is a requirement from CSA to do that the right way, to make sure that it's secure, it's done with the industry standards. So we've done that. We've been audited by CSA, or the partner of CSA. And our service is now ready to deliver DACs. And you can focus on the product innovation and sales, and don't care about building a PKI infrastructure in your factory or in your cloud instance to do that. So it's usually more cost efficient, it's scalable, and you have what is the cost in advance, and there is no hidden cost, and having a security expert that will help you put everything in place. And adding to the Matter logo and the QR code, there is also some cybersecurity labels that are coming. So we see in Singapore, for example, the cybersecurity label. The US are also talking about that. CSA is talking about product security specification. So there is more and more requirements around having the right cybersecurity for your devices. And that's also something you may need help. And at Kudelski IoT, that's definitely something we can help you with. So we have labs services to help you comply with security standards and other regulation that you may have to apply with. We have our friendly hackers, or white hat hacker, that are doing device threat assessment. So they will take your device, try to break it in 5 days, or depending the amount of time you want to spend on this. And at the end, they will send you a report saying that, and explain you the output of that, and say that in 5 days, this is what we could do with your device. Can be nothing, can be that they could extract something, some secrets, or even break it, and explain what is the impact of on your solution and your business model. On the device security analysis is that. The threat assessment is the analysis, building the threat landscape of your solution and trying to understand what are the threats. We have also a secure IP, so we provide secure enclave for chipset manufacturer to protect the keys in the chipset and provide the right cryptographic tools they need in that chipset. And then we have on the service level, we have the PKI service for Matter, which is our Matter service. So we can generate keys, we can generate certificates, and we can also help you do the provisioning in factory, or late provisioning in the field. So we have different services and solutions to provision the keys and certificates at the right place in your device at the right time in your life cycle. We provide also with Keystream some signing services. So if you need signing services for your firmware, we have the service to do that for you. And we can also help you in the whole FOTA campaign, doing the firmware update for your device. And then everything that we put in the device, or we help you put in the device, we make sure that we monitor the security of that, and you can manage it. So you can renew or revoke certificate and keys. You can update the firmware. So that's the management part.